Also, with me being a chef, I am starting like my own little garden, indoor garden. So I have a lot of little plants growing so far. As you can see, I have my tomatoes. Can't go wrong with tomatoes. I have my little strawberries. You know, they're just starting out, so they didn't really start sprouting any fruit yet. And I have a pumpkin. I have one pumpkin plant growing. I have these other little plants called chicken and bitties. I have mint, a money tree. I have carrots growing too. So if you look, you can see the date that I planted them. It was on 5/31 at 5:26 p.m. and the carrots started growing on 6/13. Ivy, my little bonsai tree, some bamboo, and you know, this other little mixture that I got. Like I'm really in love with plants and stuff, and I think the fact that I have a lot of unique qualities about myself makes me stand out.
What is your favorite topic of conversation in a social setting?
My favorite conversation is religion versus science, maybe. Not too many people can really deal with that type of subject, or race for the matter. Like, so many people are so closed-minded to so many different type of subjects, and they'd be so scared to like really express and just speak. There's nothing wrong with speaking. Like, speaking shouldn't lead to other things, but to each his own. I can't judge a person for what he does. So,
Where do you get your recipes from? And how do you put your own personal twist on them?
well, most of my recipes come from within my family. Like I said, I have a yellow cake recipe that's been passed down to me finally from my grandfather. And I have a red velvet that's been passed down. So most of the recipes I do get are family bound. And I take qualities that I like about the cake and try to make it into my own personal little, you know, cake boy wonder type of thing.
How would you rate your skill level when it comes to baking, decorating, pastries, desserts?
Baking, definitely a 10. Decorating, I give it like 9.5, 10. I'm not even gonna lie about it. And plated desserts, I haven't had too much experience with the plated desserts other than working for Gordon Ramsay, and like I said, I wasn't there that long, but I would give it a 7 or 8.
How would you rate your decorating skills when under time constraints? I get it done quickly, not a problem. I tend to take my time no matter the constraint. I get stressed out and often don't finish. And are you usually happy with the end result?
I usually get done quickly. That's one thing I can say I'm really good at, is getting the job done quickly and doing a lot of things in repetition. And then I do get a little stressed out under time constraints because you start to get worried. But then in the end, you always have to be happy with your end result because that's what you're putting your hands onto. So if you're not happy with your end result, then basically you're not happy with what you did.
What, in your opinion, makes a great cake baker decorator?
What, in my opinion, makes a great cake decorator? I think I make a great cake decorator because I'm passionate about it. I don't look at it as just cakes. I think about it as art mostly. And that's what I really think most people are really missing. It's art. It's not just a cake anymore. Like, we done surpassed that level and it's evolved into something other than just cake. So I think you gotta have certain qualities in order to be a really great cake baker or a cake decorator. And you can't even call yourself a cake decorator anymore because you're a cake artist or you're a cake designer. And I think you have to realize that some of them things really do count the most.
What makes someone a bad baker decorator?
What makes someone a bad baker or decorator is somebody who can't square up a cake perfectly, I guess. I don't know. Like, I see little cakes that have like little indents and stuff, and you know, sometimes the cake might not be leveled off perfectly. I think that's what really makes a bad cake baker, especially if you know that your work isn't good and you're gonna sell it. That's really bad, people.
How do you think you'll handle quick fire type challenges and working in a group for bigger challenges? What do you think will be your strengths and weakness?
Well, I think me working in a bigger group for challenges wouldn't distract me, but I can't hold somebody else accountable for what they do wrong. So you can't control that. But I know I work well in groups and I work well with other people. But like I said, I can't be held accountable for what this person does wrong. Like, you can try to fix them and you can try to, let them know they're doing something wrong, but they might take it the wrong way. So it really depends on who's in your group also.
What kind of role do you generally play in groups?
What type of role do I generally play in groups? I'm usually the person that likes to sit back and let everybody jump on what's their best quality because they want to show off what's their best. I think what it really takes is somebody just to sit back, wait till everybody chooses, and then you pick the last one. And if you're strong enough to be in that group, you should be able to handle whatever they give you. And that's usually the role I play. I usually play, the left-hand man and outshine everybody in the challenge.
Are you competitive in nature? If so, give example how.
Me being the line cook makes me competitive because every time you're on the line, you always got new people coming in who wants to show off how good they are or how they're able to catch up and stuff. So sometimes you have to sit this person down and be like, hey, I have the seniority, I have the skills, you can't touch what I do. You might be able to try, but I don't think you'll do it as good as me. And I think that represents how competitive I am. I know that other people are going to try to compete against me, but I know deep down inside that I just might be better than you.
You're up against other contestants. Will you be competitive in order to win the cash and prizes? How far will you go to win?
I mean, who wouldn't be competitive to win cash and prizes? That's like being a retard or something. Not saying there's anything wrong with being a retard, but if you're a retard, that's your own personal problem. And who wouldn't want to compete to win something or just to have that authority over somebody like, yeah, I won. And how far would I go? You want to know how far I would go? I'm going to show you how far I went. I cut my hair off, okay? Here's my dreadlocks. If you watched the video from last year, I had my dreads and I didn't make it, so I cut my hair off and I'm here to do it again. You can't go no further than that.
Okay. Are you better at competing head-to-head or teaming up? Can you put on a good act when you're working with people you don't like?
I think I can do both, truthfully. I'd rather, though, go head-to-head. This way you can have that one-on-one competition that really shows the type of person you are, and then doing something in a team. Once again, I can't be held for other people's actions or how good they are, and if I don't like somebody, that shouldn't interfere with the job that we're doing because we're both doing something to benefit the both of us.
Okay. Now, you've seen competition show on a lot of those shows. There are clear types of competitors. The sweetheart, the drama queen, the A-type, bitchy type, etc. Who are you?
I'm like Lafayette of the cake world, I guess. Sometimes I can be a sweetheart, and then sometimes I can be a drama queen, and then sometimes I can be a real bitch. So you get a combination of the both. It just depends on which one they bring out of me. So maybe I might be the sweet drama queen bitch, I guess.
How do you handle stressful situations? Like, how do you act?
Well, stressful situations, I get really quiet, because I don't want to go off or, end up blowing up on somebody when I didn't even have to. So the best thing to do in a stressful situation is just count to 10, take a deep breath, and just really think before you act.
Okay. Please describe the most stressful time in your life and how you handle it.
The most stressful time in my life would have to be when my mother fell ill and she was diagnosed with kidney cancer, and it was just a really tough time for me and my family. And I think that was probably the most stressful point in my life to date. I mean, I had a lot of stressful points, but nothing measures to losing somebody that you love the most.